We're the Con Guys, and this is the Con Guy Show, coming to you straight from the nerdy heart of Hollywood, California.
Hey, this is Jim with theconguy.com.
She's been here with theconguy.com.
Katie here, aka the Con Girl.
Zordon did not want 5 teenagers with attitude.
My name is Derek Sam.
I'm Danae Sams, and that's my brother.
We are your home for news, opinions, and interviews from the world of Comic-Cons and fandoms. Your ultimate insiders for all things con.
Welcome, everybody. This is a special edition of the Con Guy. Ben's back.
Yeah.
He's been a busy guy. He has been
in the words of the voice of a generation, the band Stained. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Anyways, everybody, welcome to the show tonight. Tonight is the night that we throw back a tall one, put on our sunglasses, and talk about what is left of this summer. We have a lot. You know, it's kind of weird. Last week was officially, it was Comic-Con at home. Nerd. It was Comic-Con at home. It was Comic-Con week. And usually my summer, once Comic-Con ends, you take a breather and you kind of start looking towards the fall. Like, what's coming up? I mean, I do. That's just
Halloween.
Me. Halloween. I know. Oh, I'm already looking forward to Halloween. We got some stuff tonight to share kind of in that vein. But anyways, my name is Jim Fry. If I put my glasses on, I look just like that, except for the drawing has more hair. Anyways, I am one of your co-hosts tonight. Let's start up in the top and go this way, and let's tell everybody who's here.
His arm that doesn't show. I'm Cheeseman here with the screenwriter and social media director.
Hey, everyone. It's old buddy Ben. It's me. I'm back. I've returned. I'm excited to be here. We're still coming to you from the interwebs. Well, I mean, we're also coming to each other from the interwebs because we're not in a studio yet, but we hope to be soon. I have no news on that. I'm just hoping.
Blood good.
Blood good.
That's all the news. That's all the news you needed to know right there.
That's all we needed. Blood good is here. But yeah, hey, everybody. I'm a actor, writer, stand-up comedian. I am doing stand-up next Wednesday night. This Wednesday night, August 4th, at the Trip in Santa Monica as part of the Trip Tease Burlesque and Variety Show. Put on by Dolphins James and Lola Boutte. Tickets are online at Trip Tease. That's Trip, like if you fall over something, .eventbrite.com. You can go check that out. If you're in the LA area, come check out the show. This is the first live stand-up comedy that I'm doing in almost 2 years, I think.
So what I got from that is Ben is doing comedy and stripping.
I'm stripping and doing comedy. Actually, as somebody did ask, like somebody was like, for a second, like I looked at the poster and thought Ben was doing burlesque. And then they were like, can Ben do burlesque in pasties? And I was like, ooh, next time.
I can't wait to see that cosplay. Exactly. All right, who do we have here from Ohio?
Hey everybody, it's Jake from the Jacobus System, aka the, I guess, collectible guy of the show. Yeah. And I'm glad to be back here talking about cool stuff, nerdy stuff, collectible stuff. Ben, you mentioned Stained earlier. I just recently saw a story about Aaron Lewis doing an acoustic show, and I guess he had one too many to drink, and he played It's Been a While twice during the set and didn't realize that he had already sang it earlier.
I mean, people like the song, might as well.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Well, there was an electric and acoustic version, so maybe that was it.
Yeah, he did both versions. All right.
And then
all right,
came outside.
Mr. Legos.
Hey, I'm Derek Sams. I'm a regular here on The Con Guy. Writer, just recently became a software engineering student. Yeah, I had my first day of this coding boot camp, and my brain is really tired. Thankfully, today was lots of review stuff from all the preliminary things, so not too zapped, but it messes with your head. And I just got back from West Virginia, the state that's next to Ohio, where we make fun of the Ohio for, not knowing how to drive and not doing hot dogs right. But, other than that, y'all are great neighbors.
Thank you.
Wow.
Those sound like
Good try.
fighting words.
Actually, Jim could fight you with the Chicago dog. Even we could get in a big time hot dog wars.
We ought to have a dog war. That'd be awesome.
We're better at brats, probably though.
A dog war, hot dog war. It's better than
Brands.
saying a weenie war.
We got to be careful how we talk about dog fighting.
Oh,
Make sure
yeah,
we
this
know
is
what we mean,
This is our all show where we talk about our wiener war.
That's much more approachable, I guess. Hey,
Use that hashtag, Jim. The show will get all kinds of hits.
I know. Hey, I got some cool news I just want to throw out here. We're talking about what's happening this summer, and one of those things is an announcement we're going to make. But this December 11th, that's Christmas time. This winter, the Con Girls are hosting our official hashtag after show for The Witcher. It's going to be very cool, very cool. So be looking out for the Con Girls doing the official after show with that hashtag show for The Witcher. And,
I'm actually super stoked for this, if I may. Sorry to interrupt.
Please go.
Do you have something else to say, or can I talk?
Your turn. No. I have very little to say tonight.
All right. So I'm super stoked for this because I know both Katie and Danae, who are the Con Girls, are incredibly super duper Witcher fans. They're both incredibly insightful, incredibly intelligent, and they're going to make a hell of a Witcher after show. So I'm super stoked to watch it. I'm like, seriously, I'm really excited. Sorry.
It was funny.
I think it's going to be great. They're both huge fans, and not just because they have huge crushes on Henry Cavill. I mean, who doesn't?
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah, but
I mean, no, they're very well knowledgeable in every aspect. Katie was giving us, the update on the games and Witcher Con, and it was like she and Danae. Is it her and Danae? She and Danae, me and her. Anyways, Derek, correct my grammar, please. No, I'm super stoked about that. I really am. We also have another after show that is coming up. This one's a little bit different, but we'll talk about that one in just a second because we are moving into our dun dun dun. What's going to happen this summer? And I apologize in advance. I have just gotten home from a trip this weekend, and so we usually have a really cool, detailed list of stuff. This week, it's in everybody's heads. Now, we do have a lot coming up. The thing I was talking about was everyone does. Not everyone. A lot of times, once we hit August, people seem to think, "Oh, it's time to go back to school." Teachers are already back this week, and I know in Florida, teachers are back doing the pre-planning for the students to return on the 11th, I think. If my calendar's not switched, which I think is ridiculously early to go back to school.
It seemed early.
Yeah, I guess they put in their hurricane days if they go back early just in case hurricanes come along and they have to be out of school for a couple of weeks. So it's like up north we used to have snow days. Out here in California we have, what do we have?
Fire days, earthquake days,
pandemic days.
Yeah.
What? We've had a pandemic year. Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
This is true. Anyways, so we're going to get started.
A leap year. Or no, gap year. That's what we took, a gap year. Anyway, sorry.
So I do have to ask Ben a kind of cryptic question, and I just want him to answer it. Hey, Ben's doing some really cool stuff. He's going to be with us for half the show today. And we can't really talk about it probably in detail, but he's doing something really cool. Can we talk about it or not talk about it? That's a no.
So I know there's an embargo. Okay, so I do a lot of interviews with that hashtag show. And so I have somehow fallen into this role of being the guy who interviews visual effects supervisors and artists for various things. I've interviewed a ton of guys down at Weta Digital, down in New Zealand, and they're a great group of folks down there. Lots of just lovely, lovely, lovely people who are huge nerds and they're incredibly artistic, and they love making all the things that you love to watch on TV that are too, unreal to be real. So I talked to people who worked on Justice League and Umbrella Academy and all these different shows, and these people have worked on Lord of the Rings and all these different movies and TV shows that you love. So I'm actually buggering out to watch. I'll put it like this: I'm buggering out about halfway through the show tonight, so I can go watch the movie that I'm going to be interviewing a visual effects supervisor about tomorrow, and that will be going up on that#show.com next week. So looking forward to that. Should be fun. But yeah, I have some short videos. I recently, if you go onto that#show.com, I recently got to sit down and interview. I have a brain. My brain is. I worked out after I got off work. It was a long day at work. Then I worked out. Now my brain. I interviewed Rob Liefeld recently, creator of Deadpool and creator of X-Force. And that's a 3-part interview. I talked to him about Snake Eyes Dead Game, which is a comic with IDW that just came out that he wrote. It's a 5-issue series. It's on your comic book store shelves right now. I talked to him about the 30th anniversary X-Force storyline that he's working on for Marvel that's releasing in November. And then in the 3rd part, we just talk about like nerdy stuff, and like he was lamenting that, he was talking to his son about his son, one of his sons was just like, I can't believe it's going to be another year without San Diego Comic-Con, even though we had Comic-Con at home, but it's not the same. You and I know it's not the same. So I did that. I got to interview Kevin Smith recently. I talked about.
By the way, if you're prepared, I want to ask you a few nuggets about your Kevin Smith interview and your recent #show opinion piece.
My Flame War article that I wrote.
Yes. Yeah. Ben basically said, "I'm opening up the doors. Throw all the darts at me you want." But don't keep going. I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah, no. That's so I've had a lot of really great opportunities to do some great work with that #show recently and interview some of. Kevin Smith is amazing, and we're going to be talking about movies that are coming out. Of course, Candyman, the new Candyman movie is coming out at the end of August. I got, as part of the Masters of the Universe interview junket, I got to talk to Tony Todd, the original Candyman, who's going to be in the new movie as well. This is actually the new Candyman movie is actually a sequel to the original, and that's not embargoed or anything. That's common knowledge at this point. But so Tony Todd, incredible actor. I'd kill to have his career. I wouldn't kill. I wouldn't kill. But I do unseemly things to have a career like Tony Todd has had over the last 4 decades. But yeah, what do you
the burlesque comedy?
Yeah, that's why I'm doing burlesque.
Okay.
Where'd Luke go?
Bathroom. He's going.
Number 2.
He sent me a picture.
I was only joking about Ohio. I really love Ohio people. It's just it's all.
No, actually, there is somebody that's stopping by Luke's place tonight to borrow his. Luke does a lot of video work and editing and things, and our friend Tim is here from New York, who is doing some pickup shots, and so Luke has to hand him off the camera and all that stuff. So I think he shall be back. I keep on changing. I'm trying to figure out which color works best.
And the best time to do that is live on the air.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, by the way, since you brought it up, I want everyone to, if they get a chance, go check out that #show interview you did with Kevin Smith. That's so cool. Can you talk about that for a second?
Absolutely. So I did a 2-part piece. The first part is an opinion piece, and the second part is basically the text of my interview with Kevin Smith, which I would have done as a video, but they did not give me the video. And in fact, they had in the initial communiques, they had said, you'll get the video. And then day of, they were like, oh, you're only going to get the audio. And I'm like, well, I'm not putting this up on audio. And the great thing about Kevin Smith is the funny thing was the day we did it, we were supposed to go bang, bang, bang. We had 3 sets of interviews. The first was with Tony Todd. The second was with a handful of cast members. And the third was with Kevin Smith. We did the first 2. And then the third one, they're like, Kevin Smith is running about 2.5 hours late because he's supposed to get 3 to 5 minutes to answer each journalist's question. and that he takes about 20 minutes. And what are you going to do? It's Kevin Smith. He's going to say what he's going to say, and you're going to let him say it because he's Kevin Smith, and he's super interesting to listen to as well. So, so I asked him my question, and he talked for 20 minutes. And so I basically the second part of the article is basically I just transcribed everything he said in my brief conversation with him, which did take about 15, 20 minutes. But it was great, and you could tell that he's really excited. And listen, if you're a fan of Masters of the Universe, and this was something that I addressed on the show a few weeks back, because a friend of the show, Brad, is a huge Motu fan, Masters of the Universe, a huge He-Man fan, and he was freaking out along with a lot of the rest of the diehard, hardcore Masters of the Universe fans prior to the release of the show, because they thought, they had heard this and they had heard that, and they thought, oh, Kevin Smith's going to ruin everything. And I am not a hardcore Masters of the Universe fan, but I did play with the toy. My cousin had all the toys growing up, watched the show, not as religiously as a lot of these guys, but I enjoyed it and appreciated the characters. And when I got to watch the first 5 episodes of the new series, which is a 10-episode arc, about a month and a half before it was released on Netflix. And I thought it was amazing because it is telling part of a longer story. It's the first half of a 2-part story. And so I saw where these rumors were coming from were based in actual events that happened, but it wasn't in the way that they were being framed, I didn't think, online. And so the first half of my opinion piece is basically just kind of what we try to do on this show, except I went for the jugular on trolls, because we don't like
you did.
Trolls.
I was kind of like, wow, Ben, wow, you did.
And I think it's detrimental to us as fans to just immediately hate on something. And so I took the frustration that I was feeling with people that love this property who were immediately like, they're going to ruin everything we love. I'm like, no. They're not ruining everything I love. They're not ruining everything you love. This was good. I liked it. And here's why. And you guys can go suck an egg if you don't like it. And
that was your opinion.
And that was my opinion. And then the second half of it is where I go into talking to Kevin Smith, and he explains why he did all the things and the great love and care that he took and had for this property and what he wanted to do. And I saw, the last thing I'll say about this is I saw so much on it where they were like, oh, he just took the low-hanging fruit of saying, oh, in He-Man and Masters of the Universe, everything you thought was true was wrong. And that's not what he did at all. In fact, Kevin Smith said it best when he said, no, that's not what we did. We said everything you thought is right, and here's what happens next. And that's what I like about it, because I told him in my question to him, I said, you could have just written 10 more episodes of the same show that we have 130 episodes of from 1983 to 1985. You could have just written 10 more of those, cashed a check, gone home. And you didn't do that and he said it was because he wanted to tell the story of other characters. He did take He-Man out of the picture briefly to tell other character stories and then put him back. And I'm really stoked to see what the back 5 episodes of the season hold. I'm super excited about it.
And I know that and I don't want to belabor this point too much, but let's just say it was a big point for a while. It was He-Man. When did He-Man come out? The first 5 episodes? Is it last week or the week before?
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. And just for those of you who aren't completely familiar with some of the controversy that was going on, there's it was kind of led. There was another podcast, Clownfish TV, that was really leading the charge. I guess that's their name. I mean, it's an entertaining podcast. I think they're great. I love the woman that's on the podcast. She is so opinionated. And at first it's a little bit off-putting, you think, but then you're like, wow, I could sit around Thanksgiving dinner and listen to her, because she's just like, bam, bam. But anyways, they kind of were leading the charge for before they had seen it by hearing rumors about like and the controversy was that it was quote unquote woke, removed He-Man and concentrated on Tila. Correct? That was mainly the controversy. So I'm not taking a side in this because I am not the guy that grew up loving He-Man. I didn't hate He-Man. I watched He-Man. I watched He-Man. Me and my brothers had all the characters. I guess I was a He-Man fan, but right when somebody said,
well, Jim, you were already in your 40s in the early 1980s.
I know I'm 160 right now, but like, but I do have to say this though. Ben's position, very well written and explained piece. It really did. It took a perspective. It had a certain perspective. The other perspective, I mean, I don't know if it's the opposite perspective. A slight. I mean, let's just say that the opposing views, I don't think should be completely dismissed outright. Although I do think that you do need to watch all the episodes before you come out with I don't think Kevin Smith set out to create something that everybody would hate. That was not. I mean, go read Ben's interview with them. And then he has gotten into it of late online with people trying to defend what came out, but and then when is the back 5 coming out? Do we know?
It just said later this year, so there's no date yet, as far as I know.
Okay, cool. And we'll see what happens. And all I'm saying is I have been hearing both sides, and Jake was on that too. And Jake, did you watch all 5 episodes yet, Jake?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched them all when they first premiered. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of right in the middle of the road with it. Like I was a big Masters of the Universe fan. Like the same thing. I had the toys. It's a little bit before my time, but like it was on TV as a kid. Like my brother had a lot of them, so just because of that, I played with them. So I knew it mostly just from the toys. I wasn't like super, involved with like all these characters' backstories and stuff. So It was nice. I know a lot of characters, a lot of toys didn't really get a lot of character arcs or whatever on the show. So I do think that Kevin Smith did a really good job with that. Like Justin Long's version of the character Roboto was fantastic because I think he's only in like one episode of the original show, and they made him very cheesy, very cartoony, just like robot, like I am a robot, blah blah blah. And Kevin Smith added so much, like Ben, so much to that character. And I don't want to give anything away, but like near the end of the 5 episodes, you're like, oh man, like, so they really worked good on the side characters. I do think it is weird that so much of the show is without He-Man, just because you expect He-Man. And I think it was a bold choice. I like Ben. I'm very, very much excited to see the end, and see how it goes. I watched them all in one sitting, and not once was I ever like, I was never like, this is terrible. Anything. I was just like, okay, I see what he's doing here. But I do get the feeling that Kevin Smith didn't know how much the fans take this seriously and how much, how many people would be upset that he did this, So I think
that's a fair statement.
Yeah.
And I know Ben, go ahead. And I don't mean to cut you off. I know Ben probably has to cut out here in just a couple of minutes, but and I don't want us to argue. I think Jake, you're doing a great job of like presenting like the opposite opinion. And let me
Jim?
He's just reading Brad's comments.
hey Ben, read Brad's comments, and you can tell me whether or not you want to address, because I don't really want to get any toxicity, but
right. I mean, I think this is just a discussion Brad and I should have over margaritas.
I agree,
and
I think that's a great idea.
I think he's, some of the stuff he's saying here is a bit. It seems a bit out of line, but. That's just my opinion.
Okay, but look, I just want all 4 of you watching to know, all the fans. No, we didn't let anyone know we were having the show till really, really late tonight. Don't know, but I do think that there is weight in both perspectives on this discussion, and I'm not Solomon cutting a baby in half on this one. Okay, that's Bible talk, folks. But
he didn't actually do it.
I know he didn't do it, but I do think I would love for us to have a deeper conversation and then come back with a little bit of perspective, because Brad, this is his most favorite fandom. Every year he tries to get me to go to PowerCon, and I do understand when you grow up with something and people tinker with it. And even if it's a small tinkering, it can cause you not to like. I mean, look what happened to the Last Jedi. Bad example because that movie sucked. But look at what happened. I'm joking. I love all Star Wars.
Jim, a lot of us really don't. It's okay. You can say that The Last Jedi sucks.
Okay, cool. Anyways, I do want to say this.
Yeah, my opinion's also right.
No, see, that's where we get in trouble when geeks come in and they say my opinion is right. That's where fandom comes from.
I know. I like it's fun to be a little bit controversial sometimes, but
and that's why I appreciate it.
You are allowed to hate it and you are allowed to love it, but you need to be nice, whatever your opinion is.
There you go. There you go. That's so right. I think that's right. And I know that Brad loves this, and I would love to gather some of Brad's comments together, not at this moment, and kind of like present them so people can see where he's coming from. So I'm not going to do that right now, but we're going to go ahead. The reason I bring this up is because He-Man is on. It just showed up. We don't know when the back 5 episodes are coming, but that is something that I would say is kind of the coolest parts of the summer. We get more He-Man episodes. I haven't watched them all yet. We watched one. Luke, did you have an opinion real quick before we move on to the next?
About the He-Man stuff?
Yeah.
I would like to, watch the whole series to have like an opinion. I just watched some of the first episodes, so I can't really, because it was a little before my time that I didn't really get to watch it. It looks like a great show and a fandom to be part of, and I just don't have a say because I just don't know the fandom. Cool. But I know you just got to treat your fans well and know your audience from the past, and I just wish there was more. And it may switch halfway through because isn't it only halfway done? So it could bring back, it could redeem itself and then become as a whole a better thing. But we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, especially for those who, some people loved it, some people did not. So, and I think those two sides are kind of far apart right now. But we'll see what happens. I do think that. All right, cool.
But I would, if I was the filmmaker, pay attention to the Rotten Tomatoes score because the critics love it, but then you see the fans aren't too happy. So. They need to find a way to kind of bring up the balance of that.
Well, there's a lot of vendetta there too. I loved it. I never have gone and rated anything on Rotten Tomatoes.
I haven't either. Because
I haven't actually either. So,
anyways, hey guys, we're gonna talk about some stuff.
Was the con guy.
We're gonna move on.
And we are okay. I'm going to private message Ben. But, guys, let's start talking about what we're excited. We are right now August 1. August 1, which means the dog days of summer are here. It depends on when you guys are watching this episode or listening to this episode. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. But, Ben, do you have anything that, before you jump, anything that you're super excited about that's going to happen before this summer is out?
Oh, man. Gosh. I'm a big fan. I don't know that much about the original property, but I'm really stoked for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I have been watching Kim's Convenience on Netflix, and so I've been watching a lot of Simu Liu, who is the star of Shang-Chi, and I really like him, and I'm super stoked that this guy has a Marvel movie coming out. I also love kung fu movies. So I'm super stoked about a Marvel kung fu movie starring Simu Liu, who is an incredible actor as well. So, I'm stoked about that. And with that, I think I will take my leave from you, gentlemen. Remember, my name is Ben Cleaver, and the reason I'm always drinking out of this red cup is because whenever Ben Cleaver shows up, it's always a party.
Ben, we're so glad to have you back, my friend.
Thank you, Ben.
We'll get as much Ben as we can take. He's a busy man these days. Thank you so much, Ben.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Man.
All right. Gosh, that Ben guy. Golly. No, since Ben brought it up, Shank, I was going to on our list of things happening. Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi. Am I saying it right? Because there's a new commercial that came out that has Aquafina asking him, "How do you pronounce your name?" Sean. What do you mean? By the way, I got to tell you, the more I see of Aquafina, the more I really like her. She is hilarious. But yes. Luke, that would be good. But I am really looking forward to Shang-Chi. I'm looking forward to the Kung Fu movie. Derek, what say you?
Wait, are we still talking about Shang-Chi, or am I bringing up other stuff that we're looking forward to?
Whatever you want to talk about.
Okay. I did finally see a trailer for Shang-Chi, and it looks pretty cool. And it's just funny how many places Aquafina keeps showing up. And she's hilarious, so I'll see it. But Suicide Squad is coming out this weekend, which The Suicide Squad is coming out this weekend, which is kind of a sequel and kind of a reboot of just Suicide Squad that we had a few years ago. And I'm not sure if I think I've talked to one person who liked it, and I don't remember who that was. But there were a lot of strong opinions about that one, and a lot of people have been very excited to see what kind of direction James Gunn is going to take it in.
You're talking about the first Suicide Squad, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one that already was out. Yeah. I actually never saw it, and so I can't have much of an opinion. I can only base what's that?
Oh, there are parts of it that I think are really good, but I think overall there was just too much going on. I don't know, like the villain was too powerful. It had that cliche where it's like they always call like the ring of circling trash in the sky above a building, like because they're like doing this, whatever it is. And it's like if they would have just kept it simple and had it be like they have to hire this, get the squad together to take and get like someone who's being held captive or something like that. To keep it simple, I always look at like Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man movie, because there's all these big budget, crazy, super over the top Marvel movies. When that one, when you think about it, it's like a pretty small scale, no pun intended, but it's a small scale story, or it's just like a heist. They're going in to try to steal like the PIM stuff, whatever. So if they would have kept it more simple and not include this super powerful villain who has all these like crazy things flying around, I think it would have been a lot better and focus more on the characters instead of the big special effects thing. So I'm hoping that the James Gunn version is more similar to that.
Yeah, and when you think about like the things you would want to see from a Suicide Squad movie, which also I don't know the Suicide Squad comics that well. I just have a little bit of familiarity, but what you want to see in an ensemble movie like this is you want to have a chance to really enjoy the characters. Like you said, you've got to introduce the characters well in the movie and still have the story be contained and coherent. And it's got to be fun too. It's got to be an enjoyable journey watching each of these characters. You've got to engage the comedy aspect of it while still having serious stakes in the story. And all those things that you want to see like that in a Suicide Squad movie, James Gunn pulled off very well with Guardians of the Galaxy. So I think there's reason to be optimistic for it. And some of the headlines around it are just kind of fun. Like it sounds like the actors have had a good time on it. I read that John Cena apparently showed up at the premiere in full costume, which is kind of entertaining. I like it when people involved in a movie are also geeking out and just being fun fans around the property. It's the way it ought to be. People ought to enjoy making the thing as much as the people who are going to be watching it, So anyway, that's one thing we're looking forward to. And then we have a couple of in-person conventions coming up. Can we talk about those yet?
Hey, first of all, though, I just want to say Guardians of the Galaxy, my favorite Marvel film of all time. It's right up there. And then the first Iron Man's number 2. And then, anyways, but I love it. James Gunn, I've been a fan of his. I went and saw a premiere of one of his movies called Slither back in the day. And he has kind of a twisted sense of humor.
Yes.
And
I keep forgetting that Slither was his. I never saw it. I've seen I remember a trailer for it, and I didn't get the
it was so uncomfortable, but so good.
Yeah.
So good.
He also wrote the Zack Snyder remake of Dawn of the Dead. The one from
Did he really?
2004. Yep.
I didn't know that, but I really like James Gunn.
And he wrote Scooby Doo. I think the original, the old Scooby Doo movies, with Matthew Lillard and stuff.
Really?
Yep. Pretty sure he wrote that.
Well,
yeah.
I remember that one went through a lot of rewrites.
Yeah.
I wonder where he came into the picture. He was probably near the end if he's actually getting credited on it.
Mm-hmm.
And just a little programming note. I do want Brad Everett Young is one of our favorite people. He's one of the best friends we have on the show, and we are going to show a couple of his comments later because his opinion is important. I mean, and I just didn't want him and Ben fighting it out because they have different sides of this, but I think it's fair, and what we'll do in a second. But first, we're going to talk about
especially some of the Kevin Smith comments and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's very valid stuff that Brad was saying. Yep. So, anyways, Suicide Squad comes out August 6th. And one person, Roxy, who was one of our fellow broadcasters back when we were on Popcorn Talk, she had the DC movie news. She has seen it, and she loved it. So I kind of trust her. She's a DC fanatic, and she absolutely loves Suicide Squad. So I think we're in for a wild ride with that one. And it just looks so great. And is it rated R? It's an R-rated film, right? I think.
I don't know.
Suicide Squad. Yeah,
I would
from what I've seen.
think so.
The Red Band trailer was definitely kind of R-ish. All right.
If it has a Red Band trailer, I think it's safe to assume that it's R. But everything I've seen has said R.
Yeah.
So go
ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I just thought of it. Did you guys see the new Venom trailer that just came out today?
No, I heard about it, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
What, does it look cool?
Yeah, I think it looks good. It's got
anything newsy?
Woody Harrelson.
Oh, yeah.
Woody Harrelson doing the full-on Carnage transformation. Just a lot of cool-looking fight scenes and stuff. So, yeah, check it out.
Why did I not know it was Woody Harrelson? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Well, amazing. he was in the first Venom. I think it was after credits sequence. They showed him as
I'm sorry. I did like Venom, but for some reason it doesn't really stick in my brain of like.
Yeah, it was. I was the same way. I have a lot of friends who were like, "That was terrible" and stuff. I'm like, "Did you remember Spider-Man 3 and that version of Venom? Like, this is way better than that." Like, so
I enjoyed that take on Venom. It was like different. It didn't necessarily feel like the Spider-Man universe, but if they eventually kind of blend it in, that'll be cool. But I think work standalone, and I love Tom Hardy's acting.
Yeah,
because they're doing the Morbius movie with Jared Leto. Right.
All right.
That's.
Oh, I'm sorry. And it comes out. When does that come out? Do you know, Venom?
I don't know. They released it. Venom. Sorry, I don't know.
No worries. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
But while we're talking, and Derek was about to lead us into another cool part of the discussion. Derek, you were about to mention some in-person events.
Yeah, I was doing. It wasn't a very good segue, I'll admit. I was kind of jumping the gun, if you will.
It's all good
because we're not done talking about him. But we have August 12th to 15th is MegaCon Orlando. And then in September, we're getting Dragon Con in person. Now, I don't know too many details about MegaCon, but is that in person too, Jim?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And it is not sold out.
I was looking at a lot of the guests they're having. Actors from Sons of Anarchy, some of the original actors from Full House. John Stamos, Dave Coulier, and Bob Saget. And then I did read that Billy Piper canceled, and I haven't seen the details as to why. I don't know if that's really been announced, but they do have several other Doctor Who actors that are going to be there. It sounds like it's going to be a good convention. I know Florida's a little looser on some of the restrictions, so
it's in Atlanta.
Oh wait,
MegaCon you're talking MegaCon. I'm sorry, you're talking MegaCon.
Okay, Dragon Con's in Atlanta, yes, and there are still some rules about that, but I mean, like Disney World has been open again for a while with some restrictions, so it'll be interesting to see how MegaCon goes.
But what's cool is Mike Emke, who is a friend of the show, and our show, The Con Guy, is part of the We Be Geeks network, and Mike Emke himself, he lives down in Orlando. He is going to the MegaCon convention next week, in 2 weeks, and so we're going to have him on the show and just let us know how things went. I'm really excited about that. That's going to be cool. And also, you brought up Dragon Con.
That's like you said. That's in Atlanta. That's September 2nd through 6th.
Yep.
Yes. And this is the one that they usually have that huge parade. They've got it's like 24-hour partying essentially.
It is.
I did read that the parade is not going to allow spectators, people who are not part of the convention.
Really?
Or people who are not guests, like specifically guests of the convention, like registered for that. I'm not sure what all the reasoning
How
is
are they
there.
going to do that?
I don't know. It's still going to be a really big crowd in the street. And they are still requiring masks for it, but it is happening in person.
Parade.
What's that?
That makes sense, I guess. They are wait. Jonathan Wilkinson, are you going? He says it's going to be fun. So if you're going, let us know. Oh, wait. Jonathan's there in Atlanta right now. That's right. I forgot about that. That's awesome. I forgot all about that. But I might be going to Dragon Con, and I'm kind of weighing my options right now because we're having like some spikes and there's different health measures that might be put in place. Yes, he's going to be there. He's going. That's awesome. We're going to have Jonathan on the show. If I don't go, we can get Jonathan on the show. But Mike Faber, who runs the Dragon Con Report podcast, he's a friend of ours as well. We're also on his network, the ESO network. So much love to those guys. They're going to be covering it. They're there on the ground, so we'll get some feedback from that. But I'm thinking about going. I have all my stuff worked out, and it is. I don't think I will be. I'm not prepared for the 24-hour aspect of it, but it takes place in like 4 or 5 different hotels downtown, and Comic-Con wears me out already, and I get some sleep there. But the way this one's described is like crazy. But we'll probably do a special show talking about Dragon Con. But I can't wait. I think I'm going to go. I think I've kind of talked myself into it. It happens just in a few weeks, and I think I couldn't think of a better way to end the summer than with going to Dragon Con. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, and they are controlling some things. Like they're doing 50% capacity for the number of guests. They're doing 2/3
it's very limited,
in all of the rooms, and they're controlling the flow of traffic and everything to kind of space the crowd out. Still trying to be careful, like all big events are these days.
Cool. All right. What else? Hey, Jake. What are you looking for? Jake's going to share some of his collectibles with us shortly, but not just yet. Jake, what else is coming up this summer that you might be excited about? That kitchen floor, Jonathan, I'm here.
Jonathan says, you can stay at my place, Jim. I have a nice kitchen floor.
I'm excited. There's a couple of movies coming out that I want to see that still haven't. Obviously, the Suicide Squad, Jungle Cruise looks like a lot of fun. I want to still check that out. Coming up, the Halloween season. I'm getting real echoey. Can you guys hear that?
Nope, you're good.
Okay, sorry. I can hear myself. Halloween season and Halloween Kills. We're all excited for that. That's this year, right?
Yeah, that comes out. Okay. I think like right before Halloween, like 2 weeks before Halloween, 2 weekends before the Halloween holiday.
It's a little past summer, but yeah.
And we have a little preview of something Halloween-y in just a second with the collectibles, which is so cool. So cool.
Yep.
But I want to ask anyone here: does anyone who's excited about Free Guy? Ryan Reynolds' new movie, Free Guy.
Luke. Did you guys all watch the video online of Deadpool and what's his name from Ragnarok? The alien, the rock alien.
Taika Waititi.
Korg. Yeah, Korg. Thanks. They were watching the trailer together and reacting to it, and of course, Deadpool's making all these comments about Ryan Reynolds, and it was really good.
That's cool.
That was one of the most clever promotional pieces I have ever seen of the cross promotion, because Disney now owns all. It's Free Guy is a 20th Century Film Studios release. Ryan Reynolds is now part of the MCU, kind of, with Deadpool. I think it's going to be released as a rated R movie, and Yeah, Chris. Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading the comment. I think Free Guy looks amazingly fun. It's about a guy who does not know that he is actually part of a simulation, or he's a computer we don't know yet, but apparently he has no free will until he finally discovers his free will in this video game, and everything goes to, goes crazy. I think it looks amazing. Amazing. All right, let me ask you guys, who here is fan? Ben mentioned this. Do you guys remember the first Candyman?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never saw it. I know my cousin. It terrified my cousin as a little kid, but so I never saw it as a kid. But unfortunately, Jake never introduced me to that one.
I knew of it as a kid. I was not gonna watch it.
It looks. It's one of the scarier shows. I'll be honest. Candyman scared me.
Yeah,
that scared me.
I actually just watched it like 2 years ago, and I'm like, this is still, compared to the stuff today, it still holds up really high, and it's scary. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, and I love the fact that this is a continuation. Caprini Green, which was the setting for the first film, I think has been torn down. I always spout these things that I think I know, and then I have to go back and correct myself. But I think it was one of the largest housing complexes in Chicago, and that's where the first one was based. And this one is returning to the site of the first one, and it'll be a little bit more. They're gonna add some social context into it. So I'm really interested in what they can do. We saw who's the guy that played the first Candyman character? We saw him recently, Luke, at Las Vegas.
Tony.
Oh yeah. We saw him in Vegas at the Days of the Dead convention. That was pretty cool. All right,
well,
so
Jake, you can make it up to me by taking me to the new Candyman, and maybe we'll watch the old one before, because I think that's when I'll be in town.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go over just some dates real quick. August 6th, Suicide Squad. August 11th is something that we are going to talk about in just a second. August 12th through 15th, MegaCon Orlando. August 13th, Free Guy. August 27th, Candyman. September 2 through 6, DragonCon in-person event. And then September 3rd, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I do want to put out the caveat for these in-person events. Make sure you check the websites. Like Derek was saying, you have reduced capacities, but make sure you check the websites before you go, because there's a chance that they will not be occurring. Derek and Jake, if there's and Luke, anything else before we jump into the collectibles edition section?
I'm good.
Okay.
Oh,
cool.
You
go ahead.
Sorry, you highlighted Kristen's comment there a second ago about Free Guy, that it looks like, she just said it looks kind of like Truman Show meets Wreck-It Ralph. And that's basically what it is. It's like Truman Show, except it's a video game. And that's what he is. There you go. I just wanted to read that off for anybody who's not watching on video and just listening.
That's a very good observation. There on August 11th, though, there's a brand new series coming out on Disney Plus called Marvel's What If. And Jake, do you want to explain to us what this series is about? Do you know what it's about?
So, What If is a comic series that it started in the 70s, I think, and it was just kind of like they're just fun, like one-off stories. Like, what if instead of this, I don't know, like, for example, like, what if instead of the spider biting Peter Parker, what if the spider had bitten Mary Jane Watson or something like that? And then, like, how would her story revolve, things like that. So it's just, I guess is a show animated? Is that what it is?
Yeah, animated show, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be an animated series based on that idea of just like fun, like what if this had happened instead of what we know is like
it's hand drawn 2D animation for the most part as well.
Cool.
With some really cool embellishments to make it look very comic-y. I'm really excited.
I had a comic book when I was a kid. I had a What If comic that was really interesting. It was because the first appearance of the character, the Punisher, is I think it's him getting hired to kill Spider-Man, and it's like what would have happened if he had killed Spider-Man. So then it ends up with him like with the sniper rifle killing him, and then all the events and fallout that happens after that, where he's going back to the guys and be like, he was just a teenage kid, he made me kill this kid who was like actually a hero and everything. So interesting stuff. But yeah,
cool.
Something else I want to say about that is that two things. A lot of the characters are voiced by the Marvel actors that are in the film. So a lot of them came back to do this. And so it's kind of almost in some ways existing within the universe of what we've seen cinematically somewhat. It's not just fully comic based, but a lot of them have the likeness of the actors. And even, Chadwick Boseman, I think he did even voice some Black Panthers.
Yeah.
This will give
it's
us
his final performance as Black Panther. Yeah, you're right.
Wow.
Yeah. And also, we'll be doing an after show with the Con Kids, one of our newer divisions of the Con
And that's
Guy
what I
for the
want.
younger
Yeah,
audience.
talk about that, Cheese. This is kind of
Austin-
cool.
That my nephew, I am done.
No, I wanted us to. No, here's Luke's way of promoting it. Yeah, we're doing this, and we're going to do the what if. No, I want us to talk about it big.
I was talking about it. You're like, tell them about it. I'm telling you about it.
We have gone off the rails.
The Con Kids is a new channel of the Con Guy that is going to be led by actual kids running the network. So we're kind of raising up kind of like the next generation of con goers. My nephew Austin, some of Jim's nephews and nieces, and other family members of ours. If they're interested in being part of this, we're going to have convention coverage or talk about different shows, and we're even going to have some celebrity interviews. So Austin especially is very excited about kind of like leading the charge to kind of get this going. So then he's very excited about What If. He's already doing some research. He's going to put together a video where he's going to kind of talk about some of the stuff beforehand of what it is and different things that we're going to be putting out at some point. And then it's as soon as it starts, we'll start putting together weekly shows talking about each episode.
Starting the week of August 11th. So make sure you guys tune in. I'm super excited about this. Kids talk about What If. And
Jim is frozen.
He froze.
Possibly some other relatives there. And so, all right. Am I back?
We lost you there for a second, so we just need you to restate the last 10 seconds because we have a friend that's on the internet downstairs. I don't know if that's slowing things down, but
do we really?
Yep, Tim's here. Tim Scott, one of the fellow con guys. We've all met Tim.
Yeah.
He's here finishing a film, Sushi Arcade. Little promotion for him right there. But Jim, what were you saying?
We're super stoked about our What If after show led by the Con Kids starting the week of August 11th. So please be looking out for that. It's going to be pretty exciting. All right. I would like to let's read a couple of Brad's comments real quick before the collectibles. And Derek, did you have anything else that you're looking forward to this summer that we have not talked about? Is there anything Legos related?
Oh,
what's that Lego Skywalker thing?
Lego Skywalker thing. Wait, what are we talking about?
Maybe
There was. So I mean, Lego's always coming out with new stuff, and it's very exciting.
Yeah.
They just came out with the Ultimate Collector's Edition of the Republic. I can't remember the name of the ship, but it's from the Clone Wars, and it's this cool Republic ship from.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, but what I was actually more excited about when that announcement came out is following after that. I think the actual release date was yesterday. For Darth Vader's meditation chamber, they call it, that you see in The Empire Strikes Back, where you just kind of see the back of his head and you just see like brain and stuff, basically. Things coming down. Yeah, I'm excited about stuff like that because I'm a huge fan, much more of the original trilogy than any of the other materials. Even though everybody says Clone Wars is great, the original trilogy is what I grew up with. But I am excited about that one. And yeah, there's always more and more Lego stuff. Personally, I'm still excited to finish our Ultimate Collector's Edition of the Millennium Falcon. The giant, ridiculously expensive set that
I can't wait to see it.
We're not even halfway through it yet. It's sitting here on the other side of my computer in the living room, and it's just like when we have friends over, we're like, "Hey, let's work on the Falcon together." Put the pieces together and bring each other closer together at the same time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, guys. So I do want to a little bit of perspective. Ben wrote this article for that hashtag show, their website, and he was able to interview Kevin Smith, and he talked a little bit about the controversy, which was mainly being led by another podcast called Clownfish TV. It's really an entertaining. I listen to them. Those folks are really entertaining. But Brad does speak for probably a sizable chunk of the fan base with some of these comments. And let's go ahead and read this one right here. Kevin Smith 100% lied. This is from Brad. Everything he told the fans that was not going to happen did. He attacked Clownfish TV, calling them liars, saying that they made up rumors and everything they said was 100% true. And then also, Brad said that Kevin Smith has mocked and attacked Clownfish TV, and he owes them an apology. And one more, Brad said that he has lost any and all respect he had for Kevin Smith because he not only lied to the fans, but now he's taking the approach of attacking the fans, saying that they have ruined his project. So let me see. So that is what the perspective that Brad has on the show. And Jake, I'm going to out you just a little bit. Jake was feeling a little bit of this as well. Jake was very diplomatic right there because Jake's not one to scream and holler about much.
Well, I feel like I'm also, I guess, I don't know if I'm just lucky because I don't follow too deeply into like the pre-production talk and all the thing like that. I knew Kevin Smith had this series coming out, and he said like if you were a fan of the original one, you're gonna love this. And then all the talk about how he's going to change stuff, and I was like, okay, well, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope it's somewhat similar to the version we all know. And it's like I see it, I watch it, I'm like, I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. I want to finish it before I have any like definitive opinions because it's just halfway through it. But there is definitely things that I'm like, he didn't know the fan base that well, I don't think, to really think. But then again, to play both sides, Kevin Smith has written stuff for Marvel and things like that in the past, and he has made some pretty, big decisions with characters. He wrote for Daredevil back in 1998, and he killed at the time. In that, I'm not sure. I guess that was 1998. He killed off like the characters Karen Page, and he killed off Mysterio. He made Mysterio like commit suicide and stuff. So again, I remember reading that comic and being like, "Oh, that's an interesting take," but I don't know if fans were like really pissed off that he changed everything and he got rid of these characters and stuff. I don't know. It's a rocky road, I guess, the whole thing. But I, for one, want to see the rest of the show.
And you are a Kevin Smith fan, too.
I'm a big Smith fan. I love all of his. Well, I'm a big fan of his old original films and stuff.
Yeah, comedy kind
of. I'm not a fan of like everything he's done. There's been a few movies I'm just kind of like in the last couple of years, but
he loved Jersey Girl.
Jersey Girl, oh my god!
Never saw it actually.
No. But yeah, I see both sides, and I can understand why both sides have the opinion. And I have my opinions, but I really feel like I'm in the middle of the road. I just feel like he didn't realize the changes he would do would make such an uproar. So I do think he did do some backpedaling and things like that. And it's like,
like what did he say that sounded? Because he put it out like it made it seem like it was a He-Man show, or the way he represented it, even with having He-Man stuff all around him, but then it wasn't really the angle.
Well, it's just the original show. Again, we talked about this before. It's all based on the toys, the original toy line, which was just called Masters of the Universe. But then the cartoon was called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So every episode was centered on He-Man as the main character. And sure, there was other side characters that had their things, but the majority of it was about him. And what Kevin Smith did was come at it and say, what if we take him away?
Yep.
Not all the way away, as we found out. It wasn't true. People were like, he kills him off, he's dead. It's not true, because he does come back, and then...
But he's missing for a few episodes.
He's missing for a lot, yeah. But they do have him in the episodes in flashbacks and things like that, so you get some He-Man, but it's like, for me, even me, like watching it, I'm like, it's such an odd... Why wouldn't they just have it be the show?
It's weird.
Give the fans what they want.
Yep. No, I agree. I'm not an expert in this. When I heard about it, I thought it was a very weird and awkward choice to. You have this poster. Even the poster for the series has He-Man with his sword held high, by the power of Grayskull.
He did say also in an interview or like some Netflix, Netflix Geeked like video that came out like right after the series premiered, and he was like, let's talk about it and stuff. And then he's like, I know you guys are all like wondering what's going to happen. And he basically said, like, he's like, I know a guy, talking about himself, and I can tell you that E-Man's coming back. Like, he's going to be in the show again. So
that was a good impression. You had the
So he's coming back, guys. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways,
so,
I
don't know if that was just him. I don't know if that. I'm assuming that's the plan. If he said, but again, you don't know because he said that before about the show, and everyone's like, he's a liar.
Cool.
We'll see.
We'll see. I just thought it was it was fair to Brad. I wanted to explain a little bit of his perspective instead of. I wish Brad would come on sometime. Brad is not much one to put his face on here with us, but Brad is one of our most frequent collaborators when it comes to the show. So we want to make sure that we give him a fair shake at explaining some of what his thoughts and a lot of people's thoughts. And like Luke said, right now on Rotten Tomatoes, the fan response is down, I think 20%, something like that. 20. I may be lying again. I keep on lying tonight.
Pretty bad.
It was really low, whereas the critical response was much higher. So there's always this disconnect between critics and the fan base. So I don't know what is up with that. But anyways, so I encourage you guys to check it out. Also, go check out Clownfish TV and see what they had to say about it. They pull no punches. Let's just put it that way. We're pulling all the punches tonight. They pull no punches over there. It's a very entertaining watch. All right, we are going to jump into some collectible stuff. And we're going to warn you right up front that
we'll save those for the end.
That's the way it's lined up. Right towards the end, there's possible spoilers on some movies coming up. So Jake has sent all the pictures over. We're going to start, and Jake's going to walk us through. Hey, Derek.
Yeah,
I would love for you to stay on, but I know that Derek's in the middle of a pretty intense boot camp. So you have whatever flexibility you need.
I've already been very quiet for the last few minutes because I also just never watched He-Man, and like I can sort of speculate about what my opinions would be with all this chatter, but there's no point in me chiming in on it. But I'm at least going to watch and see what Jake's got for us as far as collectibles, because I'm very curious.
Cool. All right. So let me get this ready here. And Jake, by the way, Jake's first set of collectibles it references something right here that I want to promote. This, excuse me, Luke and I were very, very privileged to have done an interview recently with Sandy Johnson. She played Judith Myers in the original 1978 Halloween. And as soon as we get a little bit closer to the Halloween season, we're going to put that out for everybody because she was a delight. That was a pretty amazing interview, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. All right. And then on the Scare Guy Show, our sister network, I guess you call it. Anyways. So, all right. Jake, I'm going to start going through, and you tell us what it is we are looking at, and if you don't mind. And always remember, a lot of people listen and don't watch.
Okay.
Like we do with everything in our lives. All right, here we go.
Let's get started. Okay, so right off the bat for Halloween, this is from NECA. They have this, I think it's a 2-pack actually. It's the Halloween 2 Michael Myers and Loomis action figure set. So this is the first time we're getting a Loomis action figure, and the likeness to Donald Pleasance is really, really well
amazing.
Done. Yeah. And there's a couple other shots I think I sent you of something. Okay, yeah. So you can see he has. You can either have him with. You can have Loomis with the trench coat on, or he has removable arms, and you can swap out for just like the blazer there. And Michael Myers features these flame effects, just like the end of the movie when he gets lit up. So. That is a lot of fun. So
when I saw this tonight, I told Luke, I said, "Did you see what Jake said?" Because Jake sent these pictures and said, "Michael Myers on fire." I don't know why that makes me so excited.
Looks like a superhero character. Or something.
Yeah, it looks like a Human Torch or something.
All right.
But yeah, that was NECA released that as a Comic-Con reveal, so it'll be out. I'm assuming soon.
Oh, very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
This is also from
So
NECA?
this is fun. So if you're a video game fan, you might remember the Alien versus Predator arcade game. And NECA has got into. They've done a few figures before, and they have expanded the line with a few new aliens here. So you see there's the Arachnoid alien, Razor Claws alien, and Chrysalis alien. So those are a lot of fun, really cool designs on those.
So they'll probably do Predator too eventually. These are just the alien.
They do.
ones.
They actually do. I have one on my display of the Predator from one of the Predators from the video game.
Hey, Lou, wait a second. So, Lou, can you wait a second? Can you make picture number 4 show, or Derek? Can you make picture number 4 show? I'm having a hard time making it work.
Oh, I don't have access to it.
Okay,
Let me look.
I apologize.
Picture for number 4 is showing.
Oh, I just don't see it. Cool.
Yeah, it's up.
Aliens?
Cool.
Yeah,
It's the three aliens. This is 3.
No. Oh, yeah. Cool. So, can you see this one?
Whoop.
Oh.
There you go.
There we go.
There's just another close up of one of the aliens there.
Yeah, I just want to see
And there's more. There you
another
go.
close up.
Yep.
Close
Yep.
up. Wait, what? That's cool. Which
Yeah.
one is that? What is that on his head?
The Chrysalis alien. Well, you could you can interpret that. I guess.
We need a censor of that one.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, is that worse? I don't know.
Oh my gosh! What is
Well, the alien design, they originally designed by H.R.
like the
Giger,
Red Rocket
so
alien?
the H.R. Giger design they're not very subtle. So
Oh, no, I know what we're talking about. And this is cool.
yeah, that's the Razor Claws alien. So that's got the big claws. So these are all based on how they looked in the video game, which was from when there was that 93 or something like that.
Cool. All right, next item.
Yep. From NECA, also, there's a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie line. This is the Ultimate Casey Jones. And this is a special one because they had already released this figure, but they didn't have the rights to use the actor's face. What's his name? Elias or Ilias Codius, whatever. I forget how to say his name. But they finally got him to sign off. So now they have the swappable heads. You can see where he's got the mask on, the mask off.
Are you sure that's not Scott Stapp?
What's that?
Are you sure that's not Scott Stapp?
Scott Stapp.
It looks kind of like the lead singer of Creed.
We're digging deep. We got Creed. We got Stained. We got them all there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are just that's a re-release, and they updated a few things. I think fans were upset with the original release because the elbows, they had this weird double jointed elbow, and they kind of fixed that to make it a little cleaner looking. You can still see the hinge there or whatever, but it looks better. So yep, that's pretty cool. And then I think you have the other big reveal. This was a lot of fun. So they finally got the rights to do April O'Neil also, and the actress Judith, what's her name? Judith Hogue. She did a whole thing back in April with NECA where they went over the whole process of how they get the action figures designed and everything, and she was there alongside everyone saying no, that's not actually how the jacket was. It actually looked more like this and stuff like that. And she helped them walk through the design. So I have this pre-ordered, so this will be here in a couple of months, I hope. So
nice, that's cool.
Add to my alien collection, or my turtle collection. From NECA also, we have the Universal Monsters series they're coming out with soon. So this is the Frankenstein monster, the classic.
That's really cool.
Yeah, the classic Boris Karloff Frankenstein monster, and I think they've already announced they're going to do multiple versions of these. They're going to have the color versions and then black and white versions.
Oh, nice.
And I was talking to someone, I guarantee maybe next year for Comic-Con they'll probably do a glow in the dark versions or something. So
that'd be kinda cool.
I don't have the pictures of the Frankenstein monster, but they have the Wolfman coming out, and
sweet.
I think the Invisible Man maybe, and probably I'm sure the Creature from the Black Lagoon will be there eventually.
Yeah.
So,
would you prefer the color version or the black and white for Frankenstein?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Black and white might be pretty cool because
I'm kind of thinking black and white.
Yeah,
I got one.
I like it. I like
it. Depends on the theme of your shelf.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
I dressed up like Frankenstein, the famous, the window box costumes of the 70s, where I was Frankenstein for like 2 or 3 years, and it was always green. So I just know him as a green guy. So, right.
Yep.
Here's the next one.
Moving on here. This is really weird. They just announced this today. They just released these images. So this is from Hasbro. This is apparently it's from a comic book. I didn't know, but one of my friends said that I guess they did a comic book about this. It's Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles matched together.
Wait, so we get a little bit closer here.
Yeah.
Look at this.
You can see, yep.
Wow.
So there it is. That's Donatello so I guess at some point in the comic book, the turtles are able to morph into Power Rangers. So Hasbro, I think it's a 2-pack, and they just put that up for pre-order.
So which 2 turtles are these?
why not?
That's Donatello as the Black Ranger, and that's Leonardo as the Blue Ranger. So I only assume we're getting the other 2 turtles. But I saw that today. I was like, what the heck is this? I sent it to some friends. He's like, oh, yeah, there's a comic book about that. I'm like, okay. Well,
I never knew that.
Yeah, it looks like the weapons match. Like he's got the 2 swords there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Such a weird idea, but
So we're give a little bitty
Double ninja
spoiler warning for the next. We're finishing up the show with these six images. The first one's not too spoiler, but it kind of is. And this is for something that's coming out later in the year. Jake, what is this?
So Ghostbusters Afterlife, which is coming out in November. Is that right?
Thanksgiving, yeah.
Thanks. Okay, yeah. They Hasbro just released these images of these new action figures. So right here you have the 4 kids, I guess, which the movie really focuses on. I guess the one, what's his name? Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things, and his sister are Egon's grandkids. I think that's what we're supposed to get from the trailer. So you see them and some of their friends in the actual Ghostbuster gear.
All right, this next one is kind of the spoilery one.
It's not. It is, but it's not. I mean,
it's not. I don't think it's spoilery, but
everyone kind of was. Yep.
So what are we seeing here?
So this is really cool, but it's so sad that you only get to see the 3 of them because Harold Ramis is no longer with us. But you have the OG Ghostbusters there in their outfits and the modern-looking, older versions.
And their current ages.
Yep, current ages. So you got Peter, Winston, and Ray there in their Ghostbuster gear. Some fun little accessories. Looks like Peter still has the cards, the memory game, or the psychic whatever memory game from the first one. Winston's still got the classified as he's looking for a job, and then there's this Ray with the proton pack shooting the beam out there. So these are a lot of fun.
And I love the way they've made their hair gray,
So these are super cool. And again, not a crazy surprise, but a lot of people were mad about this when Hasbro just posted them on Facebook and Instagram. All these comments were like, geez, Hasbro, thanks a lot. Spoiler, So,
but here's one more. This one is a little tiny bit.
This is kind of cool. Yeah, this was I think it's a Build-A-Figure thing where each figure might come with like a piece of that. Like one comes with an arm, one comes with the head or something. So it's the Terror Dog. You recognize the design from the original Ghostbusters, but it's like a new version of where he's he's standing on his hind legs.
Yeah.
And he's got a little bit different horns on his head, and the bottom part of his legs are like a translucent.
But there is a reason for why his legs look like that. What is it? I forgot what he's not fully materialized yet.
Okay.
I think, and they're trying to stop him from it. I don't fully know if that's I was hearing some rumors about that.
So those are cool. Again, I was surprised that they just put those out so early before the movie's out, and I thought they would at least wait till opening week or something.
Gus says she's so excited about the Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah.
If I may.
You may.
I think it's good because I think it creates kind of hype a little more because the people that were probably less excited to go they're just making them young, and then again the main ones aren't in there. I think that kind of gives a little excitement that they'll be in there in some form. And going to the Ghostbusters anniversary event, we also found out that they went back through a lot of the old footage and takes of stuff. So I think there will be some possible, like, I don't know, deleted scene or alternate footage or a version of created through CGI of the other Ghostbuster, like maybe the ghost of him or something. They're doing something special. They didn't
For Egon.
For Egon,
yeah. So I think in some way there's a very good chance he'll be in it, or they'll do something to kind of give tribute to him, because this is all kind of based a little bit around his legacy, and because of his death, they're kind of building a lot of the storyline and stuff to it. And and his son, the director's son, is the one who did it as a love letter to his dad, and his dad cried and after seeing, because he did such a good job of capturing
I'm really excited for it. I just it sucks because it was supposed to be out last summer, and then I was like, okay, I'll be out this summer. Now it's like, come on, I want to see it.
And let's hope it comes out.
They got Paul Rudd in it.
Yeah, Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's the main character, which is kind of. I love Paul.
Also,
Rudd.
I pointed this out too in one of our texts. It's such a weird thing. This is the second Finn Wolfhard action figure where he's in a Ghostbusters outfit, because McFarlane Toys released the Stranger Things 4-pack of all the 4 kids in their Ghostbusters outfit. So you get like 2 versions of different ages of him in a Ghostbusters outfit.
Crazy.
He's so young to have 2 Ghostbusters action figures already in his life. That's so great. But the thing that I just clicked in my head is, from the trailer, the trailer is so cool because it goes through the whole thing. You don't see any of the original Ghostbusters, and they get the call to the original Ghostbusters, and Dan Aykroyd's hand comes down and picks it up. And does he say hello, or he says we're closed?
He just said, we're closed.
Yeah. And the thing that it just clicked for me, Annie Potts' character, she was the one that was going sweep on Egon's character. And so if this is his grandchildren, I wonder if this is probably her grandchildren as well. Like, so it was her house, perhaps, maybe not. I don't know.
We'll see. I don't know.
All right, quick before we go, Jake. You got yours?
Yep. Let's get this is the one San Diego Comic-Con exclusive I bought this year.
This is mine too. San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Yeah, I love it. The tongues.
Super 7. Yeah, so we're lucky we were able to grab this because it sold out pretty quick.
Oh, I know. And Luke and Jake, I thank you you texted me this right when it was selling. You said, Jim, you got yours yet? I was working. I had to stop and go get it. And Luke, you got something too.
Yeah, so not pictured that I can't show yet. I got the Mr. Arnold Jurassic Park. Was it Mattel, Jake? Is that who made it? Yeah, so I bought 2 of those just to have one open, as Brad suggests. Did
you already get it, or are you still waiting for it?
Yeah, they're not ready to get shipped out yet. I think it might even be like October or something before I get it. So it's not like a right away thing. But the one Jim's referencing is what you sent out was the tiki mugs of the old school Adam West and the Joker, the surf one, which is a perfect tiki mug, which I think they did a really good job on these, and the color on the inside kind of matches the color scheme of it. But really excited about these. It fits a lot of tiki in there, so it's more like a drink and a half if you actually try to fill it with something, unless you want to just put a lot of ice in. But it's a pretty large size cup, but they look great together, and kind of even the box was pretty cool. I didn't have that with me right now. And then something else that came out recently, which I've been waiting for about a year, which got kind of slowed down because of all the pandemic stuff, was the Quint figure from NECA. So they did that one, and then Jake's also sent me some stuff of them actually working on a shark. I think that would work scale with this. And then also the Hooper character, Richard Dreyfuss, they're currently working on that. And hopefully they'll figure out kind of the licensing stuff with Brody, because they already had that, like it was ready to go, but then some of the licensing stuff fell through. So hopefully we'll be able to eventually get all through.
Are you gonna open that, or are you gonna keep it in the package?
I probably will get another one and then see which face I like better, and then open that one. So I'd at least like to get maybe one more. So until I do that, I'll probably keep it in the box, but I will open one. Yep.
Nice.
All right, I think that is it for tonight's show. I just encourage everybody to please follow us, like us, talk about us, share us with your friends, and you can find all of our episodes on theconguy.com or go to that hashtag's YouTube channel. Cheeseman, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at cheeseoncouch, and also theconguy.com.
Jake.
You can find me on Instagram at the Jacoba System.
And Derek, whose mind is muddled because he's having to learn a new language, basically.
Yeah, essentially. But yeah, when I'm on Twitter, I'm at Con Guy Derek, but much more often I'm right here on the Con Guy Happy Hour and some of my stuff that I produce, some of the stuff that I write on theconguy.com.
Mm-hmm. That is right. Derek, hang in there. I know this is going to be a tough. This is boot camp. This is crazy.
I know it probably looks like my eyes are glazing over a lot, but I just had to be here because I value this time with you guys.
And the Con Girls will be back soon. And we just want to say, guys, have a great summer. I mean, we're not going anywhere. We're still here, but there's a lot of summer left. I know that, I don't know, it's this time of year you start feeling like, oh, it's the dog days of summer. Can't wait for fall. I love summer. And you know who else loves summer? This guy. It's been too long since we've seen him, Ryan.
It's been a while since we played this video because you remember, like, this video was him dancing to his excitement of The Mandalorian season 2. And that is long since finished.
Yes. All right, guys. Thanks for coming on this week. You can find me at James D. Fry on Instagram or Jim Fry LA on Twitter. And I was having some problems with Twitter tonight. They're making me change all my passwords. I have no idea why. But until next time, guys, we'll see you right here on The Con Guy Show.
Thanks for listening to The Con Guy Show, the official program of theconguy.com. Find us on the Weeby Geeks Collective or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And now on sci-fi.radio, Saturdays at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, both AM and PM. That's 9 o'clock Greenwich. It's sci-fi for your Wi-Fi.